Well, good morning, everybody. Day 3 of the Mid-America Truck Show. By now, if you're walking by, your feet might hurt quite a bit and your back feeling a little stiff and sore. So feel free to come on by and check out what we're talking about today. But a lot of people ask me, did I get my start in trucking? And the answer is no, I did not get my start in trucking. And when people find out that I taught yoga for 15 years, they have a lot of preconceived notions of what they think yoga looks like. So I want to just share with you a few of the things people have sent me over the years of what they think yoga looks like or maybe have experienced. So this one we like to call bridge pose. And so this might be you after a long day, just kind of falling over. This one is called Shavasana, just relaxing anywhere that you can find. We have another one, this is called the squat. We know that squats are really important during the day. A friend of mine sent me this one and asked if this gentleman was doing yoga, and I guess you take what you can get. These are some other great images of what some people have sent me over the years saying, hey, I'm doing yoga, does this count? And if you know me well enough, you know that I believe in the little movements gathered up throughout the day that add up to a lot over time. And so whether it's a movement like the top level screen here or some of the movements like you see on the bottom, it is about the little things. I believe it's the small, simple changes that lead to the big results in your life so that you can feel good again. Over the last 8 years in the industry, I've helped and inspired more than 200,000 truck drivers to change lanes in their health and fitness, all with small, simple changes, all with the things I'm going to talk about today. And so let's get to it. And it's just as a reminder, if you're walking by, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the presentation for everyone that participates. So when we look at health and fitness and wellness, there's a lot of people in this space. And some of them are trying to sell you 90-day programs that you follow this regimen and then all of a sudden your body's going to transform. But wait, after the 90 days is over, if you don't follow everything to a T, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself back where you started. Or these extreme fitness workouts that unless you're already fit, you're already in shape, are really unattainable. And what I want to show you today are some simple, easy things that you can do to add into your day. I don't care if you're a trucker, I don't care if you're a school teacher, I don't care if you're a stay-at-home parent, whatever the case may be, you can do these things when implemented correctly, can radically transform your health and overall well-being. And the good news, no one will even know that you're doing yoga. No one will even know that you're taking care of your body if that's kind of uncool, that these are things you can easily implement into your everyday life. So let's get started. We're going to talk first about posture. Posture is the foundation for your overall health and well-being. Posture is going to dictate how you feel mentally. If you find yourself hunched over during the day, that's going to limit your breathing, which is going to cause stress, anxiety, panic attacks. It can cause indigestion, all something as simple as not understanding what good posture looks like. So we're going to start there. I want everyone to stand up. And if you've been with me before, you probably have practiced this, so this is a good review. And so once you stand up, I don't want you to change anything, move anything. Just look down at your feet and recognize which direction your feet are pointing. And so rule of thumb, if we're going forward, our feet should be pointing forward. For a lot of people, they might notice they have a foot that's turned out or both feet turned out. And last time I checked, it's really hard to walk in two different directions. And the reason why this is so important, why we start with the feet, because it's the foundation of your body. If you have neck pain, what if I told you that that neck pain could actually be a foot problem? What if your shoulder issue is actually your hip out of alignment or a lack of balance and strength from one leg to the other? So our feet really are the foundation for our health. So if we're going forward, our feet are going to be pointing forward. As we pay attention to our knees, I want you to take your hands and place your hands right on your thighs, and without moving your feet, think about rolling your thigh muscles outward, so this way. And you should feel your glute muscles contract a little bit. So this is automatically going to turn on the shelf for your lower back. So your glutes, if you don't have good glute strength, you're going to always have lower back problems. And so strengthening this part of the body is absolutely essential. And as a driver, you're sitting all day, and there's a fun term in the fitness world called glute amnesia. And when you're sitting all the time, your glute muscles never have a chance to activate. It's not a scientific term, but you get the idea. And so we want to be able to activate the glute muscles. So what if, when you're standing, You think about this little rotation externally, you should feel the glutes automatically squeeze and engage. That's how your body is designed. It's supposed to automatically know what to do when you put it in the right position. So standing in the grocery line, standing to fill up with fuel, talking on the telephone, washing dishes, whatever it is, think about this activation, and when you feel the glutes turn on, you're in business. The next part we want to pay attention to is the pelvis. So we want to find what's called pelvic neutral. Why? Because when the pelvis is sitting either in a spilled out forward position, lordosis this is often called, or a really overly tucked position like a flat back, here our core muscles are on the outside of us. They can't support us this way. And now these back muscles are short and tight. When we overly tuck, now our glute muscles aren't where they're supposed to be. So I want you to think about trying to level out your pelvis, pubis bone and hip bones, or even from the top of the pelvis. We don't want to spill the bowl of water. So once we've neutraled that or leveled that, let's find the front of the ribs. I call these the butterfly wings. And if you take a big breath in and exhale, those ribs are going to relax down and in. And then finally, this is my favorite. Bring your arms up in front. You are the Incredible Hulk. We're going to plug our shoulders down and back. So driving, we get this kind of pulled out action with the humerus here in the shoulder socket, and this creates a lot of tension and a lot of strain. Now you think you have a rotator injury or issue, but really you're just not putting your shoulder back where it belongs. So when you're driving during the day, just check in and plug your shoulders back, and you should feel a little bit of engagement there. Stay with me. Imagine you're going to break a stick. So you're going to take your hands, break the stick, and drop your shoulders down and back. Do you feel how your shoulder blades kind of anchor in? And then lower your arms down. So that really is your shoulder girdle now, sitting on top of your pelvis. This feels a little awkward, but rather it's a good reminder or checkpoint for you to check in throughout the day. This is how my body should feel, not like this. You wonder why you have neck pain. You didn't do anything. It's simply you coming into this environment, sitting in the driver's seat day after day after day, and all of a sudden your body is slowly coming out of alignment. It's crying for you to bring it back into alignment. Last part here now, simply slide the chin back on top of the shoulders. Our head, every degree forward, our head is from our shoulder, puts 10 pounds of pressure onto our upper back. So if your head is so far forward, you could be carrying an 80-pound bowling ball on top of your head and shoulders. No wonder you have neck strain. No wonder you have a neck ache. No wonder you have a headache. So now that you're here, you're probably thinking, Hope, how the heck am I supposed to walk around like this all day? And so I want you to pick one thing. Am I going to focus on my feet for the next week? Am I going to focus on my legs? I'm going to focus on my rib cage, my shoulders, my head. Just pick one until it becomes automatic, and then add another. Otherwise, it's too overwhelming. So you decide what that position and what that part of your body is that you're going to focus on. Tracy is one of my students from the past, and she actually grabbed a copy of our book, Trucking Yoga, Simple Fitness for the Long Haul. We have a whole chapter on posture, what we just talked about, 60 exercises, all for drivers right in the cab of the truck. You can check us out over at our booth later today. We have those copies there for you. But Tracy completely transformed her life. She no longer has knee pain after a knee replacement that went bad, back issues, and she's also lost weight, all simply because she's adding these movements in throughout her day, and I want the same for you. All right, let's talk about our feet. So when it comes to your feet, you remember your feet are the foundation for your body. So there's a couple of things that you can be doing. So one, you can be using a massage gun on your feet and be working out your feet, or you can be using a little roller ball. We actually have these here. We call them a self-roller massage tool. And you can be rolling out the bottoms of the feet to help break up that fascia and break up that plantar fasciitis so you have more mobility. But I want to show you a move that we're going to do right now that you can do for your feet. So you're going to take a seat, and you can see on the screen we have two different versions here. And so I'm going to show you an ankle one, and then we're going to do this one together. So step one, we're going to take one leg and tuck it back and rest on the top of the foot and lean into the top of the ankle as much as you can. So if you're doing that and you're like, my arch of my foot is cramping, this is a really good sign that that lower calf is super locked up. And so this is something super easy you can do while you're sitting. So you're going to do that, and let's do the other leg. So when you wake up in the morning before you put your shoes on, You can try this little guy. This is great for people with plantar fasciitis, calf pain, knee pain. If you're getting tension right under that patella tendon, this is going to be a great one for you. Let's stand up, and now we're going to do the opposite one. And now we're going to do toes. So we're going to come up onto the ball of the foot, and we have our shoes on, but do this without your shoes on, and you're going to think of me every single day. And so we're going to stretch through the bottom of the toe line, and then we would do the top of the toe line. It's going to be a little difficult in our shoes, but we're going to do the other one at least. As we get older, because we're wearing shoes, and it's called science marketing, we're taught that, oh, Skechers, memory foam, all these really supportive shoes are going to be even better for you. The problem with that is our feet are designed to move. Our feet are designed to be the foundation of our body. So if we don't take our shoes off, our feet almost calcify. They get stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. And that's when you see that little 80-year-old woman or man walking around like this, because they don't use their feet. And so the next time you're home or you're in your truck, kick your shoes off. Roll over your toes. Stretch through the back of your toes. Work the ankles, because without your feet, you're going to have a really hard time getting around. And a big part of our theme today is wanting to do things to keep you out of a wheelchair. I worked in a nursing home for 2 years teaching yoga to people in their 80s and 90s, and there was nothing that they wouldn't give to get out of a chair by themselves, get out of the wheelchair, reach up overhead, or take off their own shoes. And so this, I cannot stress enough, the importance of taking care of your feet. But we got a couple other things to talk about. Let me just slide my shoes back on. All right, so let's take a seat here. We're going to do some deep abdominal breathing, and then I'm going to take you through a sequence of some exercises that you can do throughout the day. So why is breathing important? The average person takes 21 to 24,000 breaths a day. Mental health, depression, and anxiety is at an all-time high in America, yet no one seems to be connecting it back to something that we've been given since birth, which is our breath. And so deep belly breathing, that means the breath goes down into the belly, is going to help regulate your nervous system, increase serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine, the happy chemicals to your brain. Last time I checked, breathing is free, and it doesn't require a doctor's visit. It doesn't require a little orange bottle, and it naturally boosts the chemicals in your body to do what they're designed to do. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths together. So feet on the floor flat, and it's often helpful to take one hand to the belly and one hand to your chest so you can actually feel yourself breathing. The average person breathes with less than 18% of their lung capacity. That's clavicles. That's nowhere close to this. So as you exhale, just get all the air out. And then inhale, try to bring the breath as deep as you can into the hand and below you. Try to expand the belly as much as you can. Feel the chest rise. And then exhale, breathe out through the nose. Let's try to breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So inhale again, breathe deep into the lower hand for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6 to 8 counts. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale deeply. See how big you can expand the belly. Get the breath really low. Let the chest rise. And then exhale, bring all the air back out. So we're deflating the belly, deflating the chest. And so when can I do deep breathing? Let's do one more together. Right away when you wake up in the morning, set the tone for the day. Get the breath as deep as you can into the belly. This is also going to supercharge the metabolism. So shallow breathing actually really decreases that metabolism, which is going to make a big difference, especially when you're not getting enough movement during the day. You can drop those hands down. Breathing also is going to be essential for your overall quality of life, blood flow, circulation. And so in the morning when you wake up, 3 deep breaths. I love setting my alarm every half an hour when you're driving. Don't make it your morning alarm, the annoying one that goes off, but a different sound. That's your breathing alarm. Every time I hear that, 3 deep breaths. Every time I hear that, 3 deep breaths. You're going to find yourself so much calmer, so much more relaxed, so much less stressed. And so breathing makes a huge difference. But it's not just breathing. We really want to think about what I call the 15-minute wellness method. That means 15 minutes dedicated through your day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes at a time, 3 times, it's 1 minute at a time, 15 times. That we are trying to do what I call on-purpose movement. That means we are saying, I have to move. I have to stretch my calves. I need to roll my shoulders. I'm going to do a twist. On-purpose movement so that we can bridge the gap between a lot of nothing and maybe something like walking, running, or going to the gym. If we're doing those things at all, we want to dedicate at least 15 minutes of our day to that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move for 15 minutes to get your body moving and feeling great. So we're going to start sitting in our chair and feet flat on the floor. And so with your feet flat on the floor, let's take the arms down to our sides. And if you have someone sitting next to you, you can say, I like you, but I'm going to move over a little bit. And that's totally fine. Let's bring our arms up overhead. Inhale deeply through the nose. Now inhale or interlace the fingers. Press the arms to the sky and try to pull the arms as far back as you can so that you feel that stretch through the underarm. Try to lengthen through the elbows. Now drop the chin to the chest. And as you drop that chin to the chest, take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. One more time, a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. Lower the arms back down in front of you, hands to the knees this time. Inhale, arc the back. This is called seated cat-cow. So the heart is lifting, the shoulder blades are squeezing together, you're looking up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, tailbone tucks up, really spread through the shoulder blades. And then inhale again, we're gonna do this 3 times, arc the back. You could do this in the driver's seat. Exhale, just have your hands on the wheel and you're not gonna be looking up, so a little bit less with the head when you do it. One more time, inhale, arc. And exhale, round your back. And then come back up, sit nice and tall. Take your right leg, I'm gonna do opposite of you, and bring that right leg up onto the knee. If you were with me with the women's salute, we did this yesterday. It's called figure 4. Nice and tall on the inhale. Right hand presses down on the right thigh. And if you really wanna go for the gusto, try to grab that right quad and just roll it out. It's not gonna feel like it's moving a whole lot, but you're guiding those tissues in that way. Now come forward. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on the thigh. My friends that have sciatica, lower back pain, pinched nerve, calf issues, this should be your absolute #1 movement that you are doing every single day religiously. And then back up nice and slow. Take your hand to your opposite foot and then right hand to the knee, and you're gonna try to lift up the foot and press down the leg. It's not gonna go far, okay? It might just be like the intention of it, but what we're trying to do is trigger external rotation in the hip, which is gonna help with lower back pain. Drop that leg down, grab the opposite knee, hug it in as tight as you can. Sit really tall and turn towards the chair. Take your free hand now and just grab for the back of the chair if you can. So the great news about any type of movement is the only difference between a tight person and a loose person is the loose person's got to go twice as far to feel the same thing. So whether you move an inch or 20 inches, it really doesn't matter. And then back to center. Are we feeling that in our hips and our legs? Okay, cool. Lower that leg down, same thing on the opposite side. So can I lift my leg even without my hands? This is a great test of strength and mobility in the hip. It's kind of like a good checkpoint. Like, how am I doing? How am I doing? Okay, here we go. Sit tall. Remember, if you want, grab that thigh a little bit. We're going to lean forward with a long spine. So come forward. Almost think about trying to set your heart above your shin. So the length of your spine is actually going to dictate the deepening of that hip stretch. And then back up we come. Stay with me breathing. Remember, we're going to think about lifting that foot and gently pressing the knee. It's not a lot. You don't have to go for this big movement. It's really the intention, again, trying to trigger that external rotation. Because for a lot of us, we sit like this, and the hip is rolling in, which is causing a lot of pain in the lower back. So we want to encourage that external rotation. All right, let that leg drop. Opposite hand grabs, hug it in. You're sitting tall and turn towards the leg. If you're walking by, sciatica, lower back pain, pinching in the hip and glute, try to grab for the chair and look over your shoulder. Get the spine involved. What part of your back doesn't want to twist? Focus on that area. What part feels really stiff? It's like, okay, my mid-back kind of moves, my shoulders don't, or my lower back doesn't. Back to center. Uncross that leg, let's stand up. And you can give yourself some space if you're in the middle of a row. Feel free to step out to the side. That's totally fine. If your balance is a little insecure, you can always grab hold of a chair nearby. That's fine too. So as you're standing here, let's bring our feet parallel again. We worked on that already today. And then hands come into your hip folds. So the hip fold is kind of right where the pocket is. And as you breathe out, I want you to come forward as far as you can without bending the knees and rounding the back. So how far can I go? And once you've done that, think about leaning into your toes. So there's lots of versions of a forward bend. And so I want you to only go as far as you're like, oh, hello, hamstrings. Now, as you're here, you're right by your thighs. Grab your thigh muscles and roll them out with your hands. And as you roll them outward with your hands, push into your big toe. Do you feel that in your hamstrings? And so nice breathing here. Let's hold it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself back up nice and slow. Step back with your left foot. I'm going to do opposite. Step back with your left foot. Back foot is pointing straight forward. Now double, triple check that back heel. The tighter our outer hips, the more the heel is going to kick in. So that's always a sign for me that there's something going on up here. And so we want to re-encourage that foot to point straight forward. Front knee bends. And now bend the back knee as much as you can. And if you look at the knee, we want to try to keep it from diving inward. That's usually a sign that that outer calf is short and tight. And if you're someone that wears really overly padded shoes, your shoes are doing that to you. And so I want you to keep the knee pointing straight forward. Now reach the arms up overhead and think about leaning back. And as you lean back, push into the hip of the back leg. So we're going to go for a little extension. And then back upright again, arms drop down, step up with that back foot. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So it's just a mild stride, not a lot. Back heel kicks out, front knee bends, back knee bends. Check the knee. Sometimes one leg is doing something different than the other. All right, arms come up the chimney. And then as you lean back, I'm shooting forward with the hip of the back leg. So now our core is involved. I got a little extension work going on here. And then exhale, come back to center. Shake out the legs. We did this yesterday at the salute. We're going to really warm up your body now. We're going to add a squat to it, though. So feet are parallel. How low can you go? Squatting is one of the essential everyday life movements we need to do to age healthy. I talk about it a lot in the book. And so how low can you go without lifting your heels? This is your daily checkpoint. At what point do I have to lift my heels up off the ground? So how low can you go? Now from this point, you got to stay there, right? From this point, we're not going to lift with the booty. I want you to keep the booty underneath you. So you're going to go up the chimney, keep your knees slightly bent, press your hips forward and extend back. And then as you exhale, you're going to come right back down the chimney again into your squat. How low can you go? Back up again, up the chimney. Press your hips forward, keep the knees a little bent. There's that earthquake in the core. Exhale, back down the chimney. How low can you go? Inhale, up. Any other country you go to, I've been to a lot of third world countries, this is the natural movement. They squat everywhere. You see 90-year-old little women squatting. We don't do it enough here. And so extend and back down again. We're going to do 2 more. As low as you can go. You're doing your squat. Remember, you don't do it now, you probably won't be able to do it later. And down one more time. Bring it up. Extend. And bring it back to center. Whew, all right, nice job. We're still standing. You're going to turn towards your chair. So whether it's the back of the chair or the mouth of the chair, just make space for yourself, however that may be, or you can be sideways as needed. I want you to step back from that chair, hands on the chair. This is called half down dog. And now drop your chest down. Head falls towards the ground. Your feet want to be back far enough so that your spine and your arms stay nice and long. Now you stay here. I'm going to come up, but you're going to stay here. I want you to think about leaning into your underarm. This looks great, by the way. I want you to lean into your underarm and lean your hips back as far as you can. Now, as you do that, you might feel your spine pop a little bit. That's the free chiropractic adjustment that you get from a movement like this. And then slowly bring yourself back up. You're still facing the chair. So these chairs are locked into place, and so I feel really good about this. You can come all the way back up to standing. Facing the chair, I want you to put one foot up on the chair. So what would this look like at home? This could be a step. This could be a kitchen chair. This could be the step on the side of your truck as well. And now from here, you're squared with the chair. I want you to lean into the hip of the back leg, not the front leg. So you might be like, oh, I need a longer stride. That's good news for you. So we want to lean into the hip of the back leg. If you need to, hands on the chair. If you're feeling really good about balance, try to bring your arms up overhead. So there's that extension again. So rule of thumb, anytime I reach my arms overhead, I'm going to accentuate the stretch in my lower body. If that's too much for you, bring your arms back down. Are we feeling that hip flexor stretch? Yes. Okay, cool. So bring it down nice and slow. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. When you get out of the truck, do this every single time you get in and out of the truck. This is going to help you tremendously when really long bouts of sitting and you feel like your back is cramping up, your hips are cramping up, your calves are cramping up. Arms come up overhead. Remember, we're leaning into the hip of that back leg. If I need to hold on to the chair, if I need to be down on the floor and doing it this way, I want you to do what's comfortable for you. And then bring it down nice and slow. Step back. We're going to still face the chair. Opposite foot comes up again. This time, flex the foot. So again, I can be on the step of my truck. I can be at home using a bench. Flex the foot and square the hips forward again. Now lean forward towards that leg. Grab hold, if I can, maybe touch the chair, and just lean as far forward as you can go. Welcome to your hamstring. Just nice, deep breathing. You can reverse stiffness. You can reverse immobility. Bring it up nice and slow. Switch to opposite side so foot comes up. How long should I hold a stretch for? My rule of thumb is a minimum of 5 counts. So that's 5 breaths, 5 nice slow breaths.
Your back leg's supposed to be like you're going forward?
Your back leg can be slightly turned out if you need to, depending on balance and stability. Yep. So I want you to really focus on that front hamstring and calf. If you're feeling pretty good and you're like, hope this isn't so bad, flex your foot more on that front leg. Pull your toes towards you. There you go. Wake it up. And then slowly back up to standing. Shake out that leg. Nice job. Take a seat again. All right. So as you take that seat, you're going to find your arms back behind you. And we're going to use the back of the chair. So one, I can be here. Okay? So remember, this is our body position all day. And for those of you that find yourself sleeping in a balled position, that's your body saying this is the coil, okay? You aren't extending enough that this is the only position that's comfortable because this is what it's used to. We are an adaptation to our environment over time. So whatever position we put ourselves in is the position our body's going to want to stay in. So you might think this is comfortable. It's only comfortable because it's familiar. So the only way to undo that is we need to add movements in that counterbalance that throughout the day. So we want to open up the chest. We want to open up the hips primarily, especially if you're a driver. So arms are going to come back behind. And I'm going to scooch towards the end of my chair. I love that word, scooch. And so hands come back behind. I'm going to hold on to this and use this to my advantage. So when you breathe in, holding on, lean your chest up and forward and let your back arc. If you're really feeling good, you can actually walk your hands up on the chair closer together, which is going to create a little bit more of a stretch through the pecs and through the front rotator. We're going from this all day. We want to go to this. As you open up the chest, one, if you're someone that gets a lot of pain and tension down the neck, maybe tension headaches at the back of the head or pain inside the shoulder blade, it's not the upper back's problem. It's actually the front of your chest. These muscles are too short and tight, and it's causing what's called referred pain. This is not the problem. This is overstretched and weak. This is tight and short. And so we want to undo that. Now, when you're here, look to one shoulder, rotate the head. You're going to see which shoulder and neck, part of the neck is tighter. And then do the same thing and go the opposite way. Do you notice one side rotates better? Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah. All right, do it one more each way. And then back the other way. Arms drop down, roll your shoulders up to your ears, down and back. I'm going to face you in my chair. As you're sitting here, take your left arm out to the side. You're going to flex. Yeah, you can just, yeah, you can hit your husband. I give you permission. flex your hand. Now look at your hand. The tighter that the inner line of the arm is, your fingers aren't going to straighten. Do you see how they're bending? This action, typing, this action. So we want to keep the hand as flexed as we can, drop it down to our side, keep the fingers turned back. Now tip the head the opposite way, push through the heel of the hand, and take your opposite arm and draw down on the side of the head. These are called nerve glides. And so there's a lot of little nerves running through your neckline and into your shoulder. So if you're getting numbness and tingling in your hands, this needs to open. And now you can take your head and gently turn it and find that sweet spot. I can also move my reaching arm front to back. Find that sweet spot. Long, deep breathing. Jaw clenching, teeth grinding, hip cramping at night. This is the area you need to focus on. Bring yourself back up to center. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So arm comes out, flex the palm. Look at that hand again. Where are my fingers? So can they go straight? Is my hand able to get into 90 degrees? Lower the arm down. Fingertips are pointing back. Head drops the opposite way. Hand comes up, and I'm gently pulling. If you're a clencher, do this before you go to bed at night. If you find yourself grinding your teeth, do this before you go to bed at night. If you get pain right in the inner hip and groin, do this before you go to bed at night. So nice deep breathing. If you want to move the head, find that sweet spot. If you want to move the arm, this is where the flossing comes in. As I move my head and my arm, you're just gently flossing the nerves that are all bundled in with what's called fascia, and that gets really sticky and really tight in the body. Lower the hands down, now chin to chest. Interlace the fingers behind the head. There's a bone down there called the occipital bone. Press down with your hands onto your head and resist back up, and you should feel the whole back of the neck open up. Relax the shoulders down as you do this. You're still breathing with me. Release the hands. This is my favorite part. Open your mouth. Tip your head back. Keep your mouth open. And now once your head is back, close your mouth. Push your bottom jaw up towards the sky. Take your hands over your chest and pull down on your chest skin. Lower the head back to center. Arms come down. Shoulders up to the ears, down and back. We're going to end with 2 final arm stretches here. Arms come out in front. Stack your wrists. I'm going to do my right over my left, but it doesn't matter either way. Turn your thumbs down. Interlace your fingers. So this is step 1. So stack. Now turn down. So turn your thumbs down and grab. Yep, you got it. Pull your arms through. This is where it's going to get real. How mobile are my wrists? How far can I go without pulling my fingers open? You might feel this in your thumb a little bit, that carpal tunnel thumb. And now see if you can extend out. Whoa, without letting go. So just noticing where that point is and then unravel. Same thing on the opposite side, cross and recross. These are all the little things that all of a sudden it's like, I can't hold a pen. I can't open a door. I can't open a jar. And we're told that, oh, this is normal, this is aging. It is not aging. It is you not using your body the way it's designed to move. It's too much repetitive movement. And then bring it back in again. Open and close your hands. Palms come together. You look like you're praying. Pull down on your palms and up with your elbows without pulling the hands apart. So just see how far you can go. And then reverse that and bring the tops of the hands together. Wrist kiss. Pull the elbows down and try to push the wrists up without pulling them apart. So if you hear someone say, oh, I have carpal tunnel. Well, we all have a carpal tunnel. So that's a good thing. But what they're really saying is they have inflammation in the carpal tunnel. What is inflammation? Inflammation is coming from either repetitive movement or lack thereof. And so by moving that joint more, you are going to bring more mobility. You're going to move that fluid through and get rid of that inflammation. But it has to start with small things. It has to start with little things that you can do throughout the day. So after all we've talked about today, I want you to walk away with 3 things. 1, I want you to pick your posture piece that you're going to focus on. 2, I want you to think about 2 moves that we did today that you can say every single day for the next week, I'm going to do, no matter what religiously. whether it's a hip stretch, a shoulder stretch, a twist, the wrist thing, whatever you did. Because if you do it once, it's not going to help. If you do anything once, it's not going to help. And so I want you to commit to that for the next 7 days. And then the third thing I want you to think about is how can I on purpose add 15 minutes of movement into my day? I don't care if it's what we did, it's you walking, it's you squatting, just on purpose movement. That means you are saying, I have to move. It's not like, oh, well, I already walked into the truck stop. Well, it counts if you walked an extra lap around it because that was on purpose movement. How can I do that? This is how we transform our life. This is how we transform our body. This is how we make real change. Here are the 5 things, if you really want to go for the gusto, I want you to think about committing to. So get your shoes off, move your feet. Drink water immediately upon waking. Why? Because you're going to hydrate your body, hydrate your digestive system, improve your metabolism, help your excretory system, which is getting things moving. You're going to do your deep abdominal breathing, 15 minutes a day of on-purpose movement like we talked about, and then 15 minutes of walking, so on-purpose walking. So whether you're going to do just those 2 moves I talked about, or you're going to add all 5 of these things into your day, I want you to start where you are. And then for those of you that filled out the card today, we're going to send you a free download. These are a lot of the moves we talked about today from the driver's seat. It's a 45-minute track that you can listen to while driving. Brian's going to collect those, but we're going to also use those to pull for the Road Pro prizes. If you did not fill one out yet, let Brian know, and he can grab one for you. And then finally, let's talk a little bit about our giveaway. So thank you to Road Pro family of brands. They've been a partner with us for about 7 years now, and they graciously donated a bunch of their amazing products to all of you for coming because they care about your health as much as I do. So Brian's going to collect those cards, and then we're going to pull for these prizes. Yeah, right? Okay, cool, awesome. So we'll just give everyone a second here to fill these out. And then I'll be more than happy to answer any questions at the end if anyone has any. Awesome, I'll take that. Thank you, sir. Awesome, thank you so much. Anyone else? We have them all? Up one more? Okay, no stress, no stress. We got you, Sandra. Perfect.
Oh, you right there?
Yeah, I'm right there. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to pull for these. I'll put them in the box. All right. And first one we're going to do is we're going to do the roaster here. And Emily. Awesome! Brian, you want to grab a picture? And so big thank you to Road Pro. Thanks, Emily. Thanks for coming. All right, next one. We're going to do the headset, the Road King headset. And again, these are all from Road Pro, so big thanks to them. Whoops. And we got Cheryl Hess. Awesome, Cheryl. Now, a bonus if the dog wears these. I want a photo. Awesome, thanks, Cheryl. Sandy, we're pulling for this guy here. The soft-sided cooler bag. Awesome, then we're gonna do the lunch box.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I'll be nice and make you get off the stage.
Perfect. So we're gonna do the lunchbox. If you don't have the portable lunchbox, it is awesome. I actually have it at home. I've used it several times traveling. It works great. And we got Don. Rock on, Don.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. And then we have a couple other swag items from our booth. We have stickers up here as well. We have our travel portable cup. And we'll grab, what do we got here? Sandra Payton. That's you, awesome.
long list if y'all want to take my picture.
You look great.
Thank you.
Awesome, congratulations. We got a couple more items here, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions. We're gonna do the next cup, and we got JJ Kelly. Awesome. Rock on.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Next up, we have one of our books, Trucking Yoga, that we talked about. And we'll pull two of those. Okay, we got Paul and Candace. Awesome. Thanks, Candace. Thanks, Paul. I feel really short, by the way, right now.
Everybody does.
All right, we have some t-shirts and a hat left, so we'll pull for the t-shirts. We have Amy and Steven.
You know that's my baby brother.
Is it? Awesome. Thank you so much. Great. Awesome. And last but not least, we got a hat. And we got Isaac. Awesome. Thanks for coming. Awesome, great. Thank you guys so much for coming. Our booth, I gotta read the number because it's a new booth this year, 37562, straight down the wall. And so we're over by Garmin, if you see their overhead. We have our roller balls, we have our massage guns, we have more books, pain creams, everything that you can use to help improve your overall health and well-being. Feel free to come up, grab a sticker if you'd like to, and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much again for coming.